Hey YouTube, my Darkness 85 here. What's up? Here's a Yu-Gi-Oh card discussion about the two new monsters that add a ritual monster from the deck to your hand, and the exact opposite of the other one. And I'm going to explain its importance and ritual monsters making a comeback playing a factor. So let me explain what these two cards do first. I'm going to put these to the side for a minute. This one right here is called Impcantation, whatever it's called. I can't pronounce it, but here's the effect. It has 0 attack, 0 defense, and it's a level 6 monster. Its effect is you can reveal one ritual monster in your hand, special summon both this from your hand and one incantation monster from your deck, like this one here, for example. And if you do, you can add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use one of these monsters' effects once per turn, and only once that turn. And you cannot special summon from the extra deck when you use its effect. And this one's basically the exact opposite, but if you reveal ritual monster special summon this from the hand, you gain a ritual spell card to your hand. So basically, the two ritual monster archetypes are probably going to benefit a lot from this. Like, mainly this one right here, Nekroz. Nekroz has not been around the last couple years since Unicorn and the Strategist Nekroz monster got banned, and Unicorn went to 1. Now, with these two cards being out in the TCG, we might see a comeback of this archetype in TCG competitive play. Because basically, you can add like Nekroz Cycle, Nekroz Mirror, Nekroz Colossal Scope, or a monster like Nekroz Trishula, Unicorn, Valkyries, Brionac, and Trishula, etc. That's a pretty huge benefit for this archetype, because this hasn't gained a lot of support in the last couple of years. You know, they need to make more ritual monsters for this archetype, or at least either another Link monster, or an XYZ monster, or something like that, and more spell and trap support, because that would really benefit this archetype. Because this archetype, when it was first released in 2015, this was one of the most domineering archetypes in competitive play back then. Back before when we had Shadal's, BA, and Cleat ports out there. It's pretty nasty. So basically, these might play a factor in this making a comeback in competitive play. I don't think it's going to be overpowering as it was before, but it would add some kind of balance in case Konami decides to limit or ban Manju to 10,000 hands outright, because that might happen possibly since these two came out, and now it's going to be a little overpowering. And another deck that might benefit from this is Demise King. Supreme Knight of King of Armageddon. So basically, you can add Cycle of the World or End of the World, or Advanced Ritual Art, etc., stuff like that from the deck to your hand, or add a monster like this one, or Demise King, or Demise Agent of Armageddon. Here's the benefit of that. If you, for example, to summon him, if you use like 2 Demise Agents for the ritual requirements, or this one, when you want to activate this effect, you don't have to pay the 2,000 life point fee. You basically get to clear an opponent's board and inflict 200 points of damage to them for each card they lost via this effect for basically no cost. That's pretty amazing, given the circumstance. But the only downside to this is these cards can be very ineffective when your opponents have really good outs to it, like Dimensional Barrier, Ash Blossom, Ghost Bell. Ash Blossom. Wait a minute. No. Ghost Ogre. Yeah, Ghost Ogre doesn't work. Sorry, scratch that. Mistake is a card that would shut this down, because you can't add cards from the deck to the hand. Wait a minute. No, that's not right. Sorry about that. I don't know what I was thinking. Sorry, I got a little carried away. But there's some ways your opponent can ruin this in some way. They can have cards on the field that prevents you from special summoning monsters. Dimensional Barrier is the most damaging card of it all. D-Barrier, if they declare ritual monsters, You can still get these effects, but you can't do anything with those cards that turn. the effect would be moot because Dementia Berry doesn't allow you to special summon ritual monsters, and you can't attack with them or use their effects. So that stops them cold. So yeah, but it's really good. I like these two cards. These are going up pretty slowly. These are like $1 a piece right now on TCG Player. These guys right here. So you might see this also in a Nut and Blue Eyes for Chaos Max Dragon and that new Ritual Monster when it comes out. So when future Ritual Monsters from newer archetypes come out the next couple of months, this might spike up in price. So my recommendation is, if these turn out to be very awesome in one of these two Ritual archetypes or in Blue Eyes after September, before then, if you have a hunch if these are going to be really good in them, pick these up while you can, while they're cheap. Because a while back in 2015, Manji was like only a $2 card back then. But then when Nekroz started coming around, then when the Blue Eyes Ritual Monster came to the scene about a year or two later, Manji's price spiked up. So like I said, best recommendation is get them while they're still cheap. Because since these came out, we saw a spike in Nekroz Ritual Monsters prices. Like a few weeks ago, before these came out, or these were even confirmed, like a few weeks back, like a month ago, Nekroz Valkyries was like only like a $30 to $35 card. Now it's spiking up to almost between $40 to $50. Nekroz Atricia is spiking between $25 to $30. Brilliant's like still around $16, $20. And these Demise Kings might go up soon again. I got these two for like almost $8, $9, $10. So I got a pretty good deal on that. But like, you know, Ritual support, it's pretty awesome. Like, it's really cool to see Konami try to develop more Ritual support. I think what they need to do eventually is make more Ritual monsters for the Nekroz archetype. I like to see like a Nekroz, let me think, what's a good card? Like a Nekroz Demise King would be awesome, or a Nekroz Chaos Max Dragon, stuff like that. There's a lot of possibilities. And so yeah, I'll make more videos soon. More videos coming up soon. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments down below. So yeah, later guys.